Bruce solo album, Balls to Picasso, when it was recorded, it was recorded by the Tribe of Gypsies people. But then you guys then with the Skunkworks ended up touring with it. So how did that end up to be in that way?
Well, so Bruce recorded Balls to Picasso in Los Angeles with Roy Z and his Tribe of Gypsies, as you say. Tribe of Gypsies at the time had just got themselves a record deal. And so they obviously wanted to go and promote their own band.
All right.
Rather than go on tour with Bruce.
Okay.
Bruce needed to tour, so he needed a touring band. And he got Alex Dickinson, who's an amazing guitarist, amazing musician, songwriter all round. And he lived around the corner from Bruce, and they knew each other anyway. And Alex's old band Gun had opened for Maiden a couple of times, and so they knew each other. So that was an instant, we'd get him in. And then Bruce said in a Kerrang interview that he was looking for a bass player and drummer. And I saw that. I was like, right, yeah, I was working with a great drummer at the time, Alex Elena. And so we just had our little demo tape. It was, now obviously, you'd send him a YouTube link, but back then it was a little cassette and we put it in the post. A photo, the proper old school way, and a CV with a name and address and telephone number. And sent it off to Sanctuary Management. And we heard back a couple of weeks later, and they said, come on in for a meeting. And so we were called into a meeting with Rod Smallwood. And that was kind of like in at the deep end straight away, because obviously, oh my God, it's Rod Smallwood, shit. It's kind of daunting, Yeah. And we went into this boardroom meeting with him, and he was absolutely lovely, and he explained how the project was going to go, and that they wanted to do a whole load of touring for this new album. And me and my drummer mate Alex were like, wow, this sounds great. Yeah, love it. And we got called in for an audition then. They gave us the Balls to Picasso album on cassette. It hadn't been released at the time. Okay. So it was our first time hearing it. Actually, he put it on in the Sanctuary boardroom, and he just put it on stupidly loud on these big speakers and then left the room, and me and the drummer just sat there, this Cyclops blaring at us. And let's turn it down a little bit and have a proper listen. And then we took the cassette home, and they told us to learn 4 songs. So we just learned the whole album because we thought that's probably the best thing to do. And we went into a rehearsal studio, a small rehearsal studio in West London with Bruce Dickinson. And that was quite funny, the first time meeting him there. And he just seemed like a perfectly normal guy. He was just a singer in the band. I remember he helped me carry my bass amp into the studio.
Oh, fair.
I had these big Ampeg cabs, and I was struggling to get it through the doorway. And he was like, let me give you a hand there. I was just thinking, I didn't think rock star lead singers generally helped carry Ampeg cabs. I think that might have been the only time he tried, but he learnt his lesson. They're pretty heavy. But the fact that he was doing things like that, and he was just totally relaxed and normal guy and enthusiastic, and we told him we'd learned the whole album. And he was like, oh, great, let's try this one, And we just ran through a bunch of the songs with him and Alex Dickinson. That was the first time we met them both.
All right.
And at the end of it, he was getting really casual. Just like, let's go for a drink. So we just went out for a drink, and he chatted about, what his plans were, and again, all seemed casual. Then he dropped me off home, and called up a couple of weeks later saying, can you learn some cover versions? Because he wanted us to be able to jam around a little bit. So we did some Deep Purple and some AC/DC with him and stuff. And I remember being in the studio that second time, just like playing AC/DC Sin City with Bruce Dickinson singing. I'm thinking, when I was a kid, some of the first records I owned were AC/DC and Iron Maiden, and here I am in a studio playing AC/DC with a singer of Iron Maiden. And I just thought, even if I don't get the job, even if it doesn't happen, that's just the funniest thing ever to have done, And it was just all like that from the start, just nice and relaxed. And then he said at the end of the second audition, yeah, you got the job, that's cool. All right. What he actually said was, he said, so I'm happy being in a band with you guys if you're happy being in a band with me. Yeah. I was like, I think we're quite happy being in a band with Bruce Dickinson. Right. He's a pretty good singer. Right. He's passed our audition, I think. Yeah.
Him.
So then we got given the tour dates, and we were off to America, and it all went crazy for a while.
Yeah. So did you happen to basically living in the same area?
Yeah, that was another thing he was quite keen on. He was living in West London, and he wanted people based in West London, basically. Right. And I think some of the other people that had maybe applied for the job We're living in the north of England and stuff. And nothing against that, but what he wanted was someone that could be around all the time, because it was a full-time band. And so if you had someone who lived a few hours away, then it would be problematic with, we've got a rehearsal next week, can you drive down, we'll get you a hotel. He didn't want all that. He just wants, right, come down to the studio tomorrow, let's go for a beer tonight.
Yeah.
And also then we're flying from the same airport together, and it's all nice and convenient. And I was in West London, I was in Hounslow, he was in Chiswick, Alex Dickinson was also in Chiswick, and we were all within a couple of miles of each other, So that was... that was one of the things he wanted. He wanted it to be kind of a friendly band, you know?
Yeah, a little bit of change, I guess. Well, at least from Iron Maiden way of working, possible.
Well, it's true. I mean, I suppose Iron Maiden in their early days, they would all have been East London.
Yeah.
But then obviously gradually as they make money and start buying properties abroad, and if you got the chance to live in Florida, why not,
Yeah.